So this is all dapped up. So in the meantime, I've got my timer going. I'm going to start working on other stuff. So I've already got my pieces drawn out here. Now, this side is easier to see, but I'm going to be dapping this side. So I'm going to cut out on these dotted lines here, and these solid silver lines I'm going to cut out a channel in them, and then instead of a stack of 3 tile foam, I'm going to do 2 with the channel cut out so that I can sort of put them together like this. So that's the next task. So I've already got these marked up. Okay, so these lines indicate where the core is going to go, and then I've also got where the core ends, and then I've added an inch to that so that when they come together they have a full solid piece in front of the core, so that it will, there'll be some extra protection. So now I'm going to cut at an angle on both sides. I'm going to try to keep it consistent, hopefully, because I also don't want to cut all the way through the foam. I only want to cut about halfway through, because this is about 1/2 inch, this is about 1/2 inch, so 1/4 inch from this one, right? In fact, let me find the center. This is about the shape I want to make when I cut it out. One nice little roundish channel. So I've got it cut on both sides. Now for the bottom, I'm kind of just going to rip it out. But I want to keep it nice and low. And same thing with this one. So now these are channeled out, and I can't really test until I get those pieces together. So in the meantime, with about 4.5 minutes left on the timer, I'm going to cut out 3 pieces from this. 2 are going to be at 1 inch, and then 1 is going to be at 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to use those for the sides and the bottom. Then I think I'm going to make a round pommel is what I'm going to do. Is try to make it as round as possible. So I've got these cut out. That'll be the core for the pommel. And then just got to wait for the timer to finish up. Timer's done. I'm going to take this, put that there, take this, now make sure that the pommel, or make sure that the handle is in line with the guard. It's a little off. So that you can index properly. Okay. So that's with the guard. Now I'm going to do these and the pommel core at the same time. Also, the genius that I am, forgot about the whole angle thing, and since those are a sandwich of 3, and this is going to be a panini of 2, the angle is not going to line up with this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this here. I'm going to cut it like halfway up, and then I'm going to cut it at the angle, which is really, really annoying. when I made that one, I didn't do this angle thing. So you see, I did a halfway up and then I put the angle in so that ideally it'll all like flatten itself out. So I've got the timer going, and I'm just going to wait for all this stuff to get ready to go. Okay, timer's done. Let's start with these. Try to get the right side down. And just do a little trim in the corners. And like that. So there's actually a little space here, which is not good because then it'll flex too much and eventually this will break through. So I'm gonna have to cut a little, just a little bitty piece and then shove it on top like that. And I'll take this, put it together here at the bottom, and put this top together. Alright, so that's the core foam. Now, I'm going to take these corners off, like that. Now I'm going to mark from the guard 3 inches. Well, because I've got this, it's actually more like 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches from the guard, 3.5 inches from this line, or 3 inches from this here, because that's that ½ inch that I added to the top, like that. Unlike the basic sword, I'm going to start with a camp mat, then go to the yoga mat, and then go back to the camp mat for the final edge. And that's just because I wanna. Okay, so I'm gonna take from this line here, I'm gonna come around, kind of hug the blade, and then cut this side where the foam meets that. Then I'm going to use this as the measurement for this. Okay. And then I'm going to cut off these corners here. And then cut this corner off. So that when I put them together, these corners are going to kind of line up like that. Okay? And that is going to give me this sort of V look. And that does two things. One, I kind of like that look better as opposed to if it was just like ricotta, like a 90-degree angle. And two, it'll make it easier so when we put it in our sheath, it kind of slides into the ricasso where it needs to go. So to remeasure this where we need it to go, I'm going to cut off this 45 here, or 45-ish. That's not even close. Okay. Then I'm going to do both sides. I'm going to dap both sides of this one. I'm going to dap this, and then I'm going to dap this. And actually, I'll start with this to get it out of my way. Actually, since I'm doing this, I'm also going to do the pommel, because I can cut out a couple circles of the camp mat, and then I'm going to use that for the pommel. So, while this is all drying, I'm going to cut out some circles out of my camp mat here and start the round pommel for that. Fortunately, I found that this is the 1.5 inches that I'm looking for. It's like just shy of 1.5 inches, which is fine. I even have the fine tip Sharpie to help me with this, because getting in that little corner is bothersome. Alright, the timer is running. Got these cut out. Those will go on the pommel. And I'll put the blades on. And then we'll do the next thing. I'll start here. And make sure this is closed up. And then center this one. Wait. That's why you do it lightly. So that if it gets screwed up somehow, a little bit more. So I gotta stretch it just a little bit. Like that. Alright. Like that. And then I'm going to trim off more of these corners. Okay. Now for the last part of the blade, this last one, it's actually going to come all the way over, but also down the ricasso. I also have this little piece, and I'm going to use this to wrap around the pommel like that. And actually, I'm going to cut a little bit into it so that it meets up in the middle there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at an angle. I'm going to cut it. Let me find my... So this is about 1.25 inches. And the dogs. So I basically cut the 1/2 inch out so that when it comes over, it overlaps like that. Then I got to measure around. So there. So if this is about where the circle ends, I gotta cut like that. Then cut out about a 1/2 inch from that center. Dip. So when I do these ones, I'm also going to do these ends here because I put DAP on the inside of the guard so that when I actually put it in, I'm going to attach it to here and into the corner so that it attaches to both sides. Slash cut. Get it? It's like smash cut, but slash cut because I'm using, you get it. So this video ran a little long, so I had to cut it up into little bits. So I hope you enjoyed this bit because it's over, and maybe go check out the next bit. And if there's no next bit just yet, maybe go check out some of my other videos. Maybe watch those in the meantime. Thanks for watching. So like, subscribe, all that stuff, and comment, all that fun stuff. So